Bad days. We all have had them. But have you ever had such a bad day where you thought that if you were just to transfer or reincarnate to another world, everything would be all sunshine and flowers? The fantasy of most weeb's dream is to go into another world where your past is erased, where you're powerful, where you're respected, you're smart, competent, and women love you. But would you actually enjoy the experience of being an isekai protagonist? Sure, being one of these guys would be a dope experience for a while, where you're breaking the law of the universe, you're the best of the best. But after experiencing all those highs, it's just nothing. If you're one of these guys, you're essentially alone. You're gonna be doing everything on your own. You're way too strong for anyone to keep up with. You got girls constantly annoying you. It feels good for a little bit, surrounded by all these hot chicks. But after the complaints, all the yapping and talking, you're gonna feel a headache. You got everyone respecting and liking you, then you just can't lose. You're constantly feeling good and happy. It's like you're on drugs. The only thing all this fulfills is your ego and maybe your hormones, and that is if you're one of these guys. Let's say you're Subaru from ReZero. What happens then? You're getting pummeled, people keep killing you, the amount of pain that you have to endure and suffer just for what? For some vagina? What about if you put into a game and you just solve a riddle until the end? Then you just get bored of that world. What about if you have to go on a long adventure, slay some monsters to beat the Demon King? And then what? You getting isekai, it's just a headache for the most part. After the ego boost, you're feeling good. It's completely downhill from there. That's why it's called a fantasy, something to dream about. Because if you live within it, you would actually feel terrible. Within life, you have to go through the ups and downs. You have to feel bad, you have to feel good. You have to go through all sorts of emotions. That's why it's called life. If you get isekai, you only have one story to tell, and it's predictable. Like taking revenge on the people that did you wrong, or beating a boss claiming the throne. It's much more interesting if you were to experience different walks in life, and you get to see other people's point of view, even though you can come across a lot of shitty people that you just don't like. In a place like Japan, where all this cartoon is made, the culture is very homogenous. Everyone is the same essentially. You try to fit in, and you don't fit in, you're not gonna get treated well. You're gonna get treated like a guest. Nothing really interesting happens besides maybe an earthquake shows up. Essentially, what your life is, you're born, you have to learn how to be respectful, treat others with deity, kindness. You don't lie, steal, or cheat. You go to school, you study a lot, you take a test, and that determines your capability for certain jobs. If you're lucky, you can start your own thing and do your own thing. That's cool. But for most people, you just go to school or a training facility to understand that subject. You go to work, maybe a bit bullying here and there. People will be people. Get depression, maybe get a family, then go. That's why getting transferred into another world where you're the individual with a story is so captivating and interesting. That's why the isekai genre is so popular for Japan and many other people across the world. But it's important to remember that we're all humans with emotions, and this whole empty void that we're put in is so big that we still can't figure out the trillions upon trillions of questions. So it would be just boring to go into another world that already has a plot for you. Maybe you're not even smart enough to discover anything in that world. Then what? You just get bored. When you look at people, most people are not smart enough to discover these things and try to do research on like diseases. So people are gonna run around, troll, do a bunch of stupid things like having an ego, and that's about it. You might have a few things here and there where you can tell, but that's really about it for most people, including me. But it's better to have a chance of experiencing different cultures, seeing different things, even though I hate it. The more I understand about people, the more I don't want to know. There's a lot of messed up things that you would see, but there's also a lot of things that are beautiful to experience. Not everything has to do with your ego getting stroked or being a complete moron surrounded by girls. Sure, it's fun, but after a while it just gets sad and tiring. Slice of life is boring. Everyone knows it's boring. Nobody really wants to watch it. But as boring as it is, the audience is more engaged and they will stick around more. They will stroll along for the ride because it tells a story between different individuals coming together to create something. You see the struggle and the good times. I get it. When you watch anime, you don't want to see none of that. You just want to see pure entertainment, pure dumb stuff. You want to see hype, and you don't want to be reminded of the real world. Some people were born with disabilities. We all have issues and problems. Everyone has problems and issues. And with how society is, with how people value certain things, there's a lot of people out there who are just not gonna make it, and that's just the reality. In any market, a few people is gonna make it, and a bunch of people are just gonna be boring losers. Some people are just born with bad health conditions, or they're completely stupid, or they're really ugly. And when you go through life having those issues, that could really make you feel bad about yourself. then who really wouldn't want to get isekai at that point? That's why you see some of these people who have such a rough life just end it all. I know I sound like a philosophical nerd. I kind of am. But just remember that nothing really matters at the end of the day. Even if some omnipotent being comes down and told us what the meaning is, what the meaning of life is, how would they know either? Whoever you are, wherever you are, just be comfortable with yourself. Be content with yourself. Just enjoy yourself as much as you can. Who cares about all these things that seem important? I mean, if you are literally a genius and you can discover these things, I mean, that's dope. But for like 99.99% of people out there, even a lot of smart people, they're not gonna be able to do it. If people just start doing simple things more, people wouldn't want to be isekai. And when you look at all the isekai tropes, all it is just some hedonistic depravity thing that people want to indulge in. I think it's better if you were to just experience what you have now. Don't daydream. If you want to indulge in a fantasy, go ahead, just watch anime and read a bunch of manga. But just remember that the simple things in life are things that anybody can enjoy. And you really don't need to be an isekai protagonist to have a great life. I want to be a hot guy that's powerful with hot chicks surrounding me. That's the real dream right there. So yes, after all that I said, I would still want to be an isekai protagonist.